they've got so much self-hate. They think that every black person hates themselves. That's why they find it strange. And I think I mentioned it previously. The one lady, a Nigerian lady, said it. One of the culture shock is that people in South Africa, when they get to the robot, they wait their turns. The children in school, they stand in lines. Their whole life, it's chaos. It's chaotic. And then we want to engage ourselves with people whose whole life is chaotic, who literally cannot reason like a civilized human. They're savages. That's why we'll forever go around in circles. These people hate themselves in Nigeria. Today, we'll get one Nigerian who says, I'm not Nigerian, I'm Biafran. Okay, what's the difference between Nigeria and Biafra? We understand the context. Then we'll have another one who say, I'm not, the Igbos and. But then they at the same breath would want to come and tell South Africans what to do. They're very quick to give us advice. Very quick to tell us what to do. Very quick to tell us that we hate fellow Africans when he cannot even live in harmony, or when he hates his fellow African brother. To put it even, we go further. Nigerian men hate Nigerian women. Anything that a Nigerian woman tries to do, it will always be a Nigerian man who will come in, discredit.
That is so true. But go ahead, that is so true.
No, it's literal. And yet, we need to integrate with these people. They will, Nigerians will marry and do anything as long as it's not Nigerian. Are you telling me, are you hating because your mother is Nigerian? You hate the one that gave you. They speak bad every time. They speak bad about Nigerian women. Who is a Nigerian woman? And then we must come and say, we love this man. They must come and they say that they provide us and.
Yeah.
If you hate your own mother, if you hate your own sisters, how can you love another woman? Nigerians will tell you we're the most educated. We're in America we are doctors, but they can never go and provide the services or do something for Nigerians in Nigeria. They can never. They hate their countries to that level. We're talking about the CAT scan. I was butchered, like Azani was saying. I actually mentioned it. I think it was 2022, and everybody told me that I'm crazy, this and that and that and that. And then you tell Nigerians, show me any inventions, I can tell you what they're going to say. Aloti Dankoti. And then this is consistent. Aloti Dankoti, we have Davido, we have who's it? It's literally, it's all, they will tell you Dangote, Davido, and who else? The one that we hate in South Africa?
Burner Boy.
Burner Boy literally doesn't even have his, literally cannot even produce anything new. In Kenya there, he was singing Jerusalem. Nigerians saying that, you must say, did you hear Burner Boy? He took Jerusalem and I'm like, how am I sharing melanin with these people?
Yo, my sister.
Wow.
Let's allow Azania to come in. I think you want to say something quickly, sis.
Yes, just to add on what NM was saying, about the relationship that Nigerian men have with their own women. I was on a live. It's actually palatable to listen to Nigerian women who are reasonable. Of course, you're going to find some who just want to yap and protect they're not even protecting their men. they're just protecting their country because of pride. But anyway, I was listening to a panel of Nigerian women, and one of them said, no, actually it wasn't a live, it was a podcast clip. And one of them said that Nigerian men are raised for one thing, and that is to go get the bag. They are raised to go and get money and get rich and get the family out of poverty. That's what the focus is for Nigerian men, right? And who pushes them? It's mainly the mothers, right? It's a vicious cycle, guys. It's mainly the mothers and the women that push them to be the ones who go out and go work, marry, even though you're 17 years old, marry an 18-year-old because that will get us out of poverty. Go to Europe, go work hard, bring money back. That's how it is, right? And because it's the woman that pushes them, Nigerian men then have this ideology that Nigerian women, all they want is just money. So it's a vicious cycle because Nigerian men are trying to get away from their mothers who are pushing them for money. Translation, the women. Whereas on the other hand, Nigerian women are the ones who are trying to get Nigerian men to go and get money. So one views the other one as a gold mine, and one views the other one as the gold digger. That's why they don't want each other. So Nigerian men will always say, all Nigerian women want is money, 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 money. They always want you to give. That comes from their mothers. That's where that comes from. Remember, there was a clip recently that was trending of a guy, a Nigerian fellow who went to, just one second. A Nigerian fellow who went to South Africa, was a promoter, worked, sent money home. I don't know if you guys seen it. I think I shared it. I think I reshared it. It's in my reshares.
So that he's a
yeah,
and then he went home. He's now
yes.
Family literally.
No. This is apparently what happened. What happened was, when he got home, he asked his family, his mom and his sisters, please hand me over the businesses that I've been investing in when I was in South Africa. Hand me over the property that I've been buying when I was in South Africa. They did not want to do that. They wanted to hold on to it. So they sent him, after beating him apparently for a few days, they sent him to a mental institution, saying that he was crazy. When he got to the mental institution, fortunately, there was someone who did not believe that he was crazy. And that's how the video got leaked. Can you see the scale, what I'm talking about how it's a vicious cycle? Because his own mother and his own sister are saying, you won't get the wealth that we pushed you to go get. You can't get it back. So we are holding on to it. Up to a point where they beat him up and then they say he's mentally unstable. No. Now, do you think that man will want to marry a Nigerian woman?
Azania, it's actually, so I've got another version.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, is that he went home and then he asked them, show me the properties that I've bought, right? And they said to him, no, these properties are under construction. And they took him from pillar to post. He did not even sleep at home. He booked himself in a hotel. And then he said, okay, because your family, I need to go back to South Africa. They said, no, before you go back to South Africa, let's take you to a place where you need to be prayed for, you get blessings. They took him there. And then the priest literally asked him to follow him, only for the priest to lock him in that room where the mental people. So he was beaten in that house. And there's been a lot of videos of people. There was also a doctor from the US who went home, and when he started asking, because he's been sending money home, when he started asking, he was also sent there. But with him, the doctor from the US, they wanted to turn him into Muslim because they said, no, he must follow the religion, and they were forcing it to him. So this guy as well, he went to that pastor under the pretense that he's going to get prayed for and he's going to get blessings before he flies back to South Africa. I think they kept him there for like 17 days, being beaten every day, only eating once a day. So this is what is happening. But Azania, you make a valid point. You make a valid point.
Yes, no. I hear your version. I hear your version, but it all speaks to the same point, that there is a vicious cycle an unhealthy relationship between Nigerian men and Nigerian women, where even now with this one, they are refusing to show him the investments that he's been making, and they want it all to themselves, up to a point where they are willing to sacrifice his mental health and his physical health so that they can keep his money. So a man like that can't turn around and say Nigerian women are noble, because the closest ones to him, the ones that were supposed to keep him safe, are the ones that have hurt him the most. That's why I'm saying there's a vicious cycle. That's why the Nigerian men don't want the woman, and the woman want the men, because they see a gold mine, and the men see a gold digger.
But Azania, I actually want to take it a step further. So what we see, we're dealing with people who has trauma. They literally are surviving, and they see a woman or anything, another human being,
and they would have been able to have accountant, they would have been able to have the whole value chain, everyone that you need to put that enterprise together. But it's the willingness, it's from government, and our government is in power, but it's like it's waiting for somebody that is going to come from somewhere and tell them that you can do that and then you cannot do that. And then the corruption in Uganda is one of the biggest problems. Thanks.
Hi guys. Okay.
Hello.
I just want to add my 2 cents on this one. My biggest concern with our transportation, it's because it has become quite costly for companies to operate in South Africa. If you can check the absence of upgrade when it comes to freight movement, it's costing companies more. Before the train infrastructure was destroyed, companies did not actually spend much when it comes to movement of goods. But ever since the Transnet plummeted in terms of its infrastructure, there's been a heavy cost when it comes to freight movement, from your cars to coal to whatever you can think of. It has become expensive for companies. Majority of companies did not just shut down because of load shedding. The movement of goods, it has become costly for every company. If you check, majority of industrial areas are now concentrated at Centurion, Kempton Park, around those areas. Why? Because of it's easy to move goods to certain areas, to the ports, to the airport, to certain. It's easy for them to do that because the cost of moving goods, it has become quite expensive. If you check, majority of the industrial areas back then, they had they have a train. They had trains that were moving there, but the problem is the sabotage by the opening up of competition when it comes to the movement of goods. It has made the cost of shipping goods to become more expensive. Hence, that is why we need this flexibility in terms of transportation, which is also good for investments. So when we talk about that taxis transport people, there's a value chain. There is also a value chain that exists with the bus system. There's a value chain that exists with the train system. There's a value chain also that exists with the taxi system. It's not just the value chain of the taxi system that is good. We also need to regard the value chain that comes with the train system. That value chain is the movement of goods first. Second one is the safety of the transport system. The third one is actually the cost of the people that are paying for that. So all value chains are beneficial to the people. When we look at the train system, we look at companies. What are companies benefiting? Is it good for companies to build more industrial areas? Will they have efficient transportation for good? How is that going to benefit citizens? Will those trains be manufactured in South Africa? Do we need to bring a company that will help South Africans build trains? As we speak, there was a first what is this?
But when you are from Congo,
Congo.
Yes.
Umuntu akule Bronco sprayed How can I be from Congo? So now we okay, no, it's fine. I'm from Congo then. It's okay.
Malvin, look at when are you going back to Congo?
No, when
I'm from Congo. It's
on
fine.
stage. On stage. When on stage, mawuthi awuyena waseCongo. Tshela labantu awuyena waseCongo. Ubapha umngqini balokho.
But when I would tell you are from Congo, did you tell people you're from Congo?
When did I say that? When have I said I'm from Congo?
Linda Kamakala, Malvin, you eat ya kaitaba ya
I've been on this live for days and days. I've been here.
Wait. We're not gonna be nursing feelings here. You're a grown man. If people ask you a question and they say, wait, if people are gonna ask you a question,
Malvin,
listen.
Malvin,
on stage. Bro, if people are like, hey man, are you from Congo? You can go, yeah, I'm from Congo, as I was saying, and then you continue with your submission. There's no need for you to now yeah, I'm from Congo, it's fine. Bro, we don't have time to nurse feelings, bro. If you are from Congo, be willing to say, yes, I'm from Congo.
Guy,
be willing to say, wait. I'm not. I never asked you. I'm not guy.
Please don't. Hey,
so
don't talk
I'm
like
saying
that,
to you.
please.
So I'm saying to you.
My feelings. Just don't talk down at me like that.
We're on stage. We're on stage. We're on stage.
Ngiyacela reform ngabiyami. Mr. On stage, it's very simple this thing.
How Malvin when happen?
Mr. On stage, it's very simple this thing. It's very simple this thing. If you are saying
from Congo, Malvin in how
Malvin is becoming like Landi. Somebody check on Malvin. I think we should send commander to check on Malvin. Okarutana Lilandi Masatia Malvin. Lema bani nanza
on stage.
Bro, if you are from Congo, there's no problem in you saying, yes, I live in South Africa, but I'm of Congolese descent. And then you continue with your point. Right? But for you to go, it's fine, I'm from Congo, it's fine, as though that makes your argument weaker. That's not what we're here for. Give your submission. If people ask you a question, answer it honestly and move on. There is no need to give emotional responses here.
Which was what do you regard as an emotional response?
Okay, I'm
from Congo. But anyway, you are done. You are done with your point. Are you done with your point, or do you still want to continue?
I saw you saying utini law. Like, can you just expand? What do you mean by that?
Now I'm marangati accent.
I on stage. Can't when on stage ukhuluma luphi ulimi?
No, when I said utini law, I was like, I'm worried what this guy is saying. Which language in South Africa do you speak?
Excuse me?
Which language in South Africa do you speak?
You can speak any, my guy. I will hear you. I speak Zulu. It's fine.
No. Where now your own mother tongue?
Yes,
I'm Zulu, guys. I'm Zulu. I grew up in Bronkhorstspruit. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Yobe ndoda yobe ube ngazi isithathelo zakho ngabe sekuyakhasha sekukawena
it's
sehlela ngezansi
no akunankinga
I'd like to say something. Sometimes I think a lot of us are struggling with understanding how the economy works. When you speak things like bus, Elon Musk is driving that bus without drivers, and you don't see American drivers fighting, you can just tell already ukuthi umuntu understand the dynamics we economy. When the economy is fully functional, you will not see people fighting within industries. Economy as America, how big is that economy? How it's how many $1 billion industry? Nsabuyela futhi emuva. The government in this country should make it possible for people to be able to run their businesses, be able to sustain their businesses. Economy in South Africa has allowed a lot of industries to close down, a lot of amafemo to pack up and leave. anizifundise uku-understanda nistadishe ezinye izinto, ningatype ama-comment out of ignorance, nivele nisibonise ukuthi standard one type of vibes Jacob Zuma, because for any industry or any industry or any field to thrive, the government has to make it feasible. Maubona certain industries are crash. It's because of government way too. He is not pumping in that money or subsidizing or doing what he is supposed to do. Yabona makuthiwa kunama NYDA kunama 600 billion aphumile manje kuthiwa they want to help black businesses and black women. How many of real business people who actually keep the economy alive are going to get that money? How many? It's a it's gonna crash where you find there are businesses who have been struggling to keep their doors open and who hire South Africans who hire